or we're actually replacing the current standard. Current standard is if you're less than 6 minutes late at the terminal, you're on time. If the train arrives less than 6 minutes late at the terminal, it's on time. I mean, you know, there's a number of things we could talk about. We could talk about in terms of on-time performance. One of the things we could talk about is we all know that every schedule has padding in it. You know, it takes, let's say it takes from Jamaica to Penn. It actually takes 15 minutes to make that trip. They have 20 minutes in the schedule to make sure that the train's going to arrive on time, or at least it's going to beat the 5:59 standard.
Yeah, but they can only fudge that between the last station. Because you can't leave the station before the posted time.
You can't run hot.
So it's only the last station.
Right, but there are, but you can also pad all along the line.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have, you know, if you have let's say you have a train that's running express from Ronkonkoma into Jamaica, you can also you know extend the amount of time that you allow for that trip.
But then you can't leave Jamaica.
No, you can't. You got to sit at Jamaica. You got to sit at the platform if you're there 5 minutes later. But if you're say you're 5 minutes late getting out of the yard at Ronkonkoma, you've got the padding built in that next section that you can take advantage of. So I mean that's one thing we might want to we might want to talk about to what degree the travel time should reflect the actual time that it takes to get from point A to point B. You know, in some cases it's a recognition that things are going to be congested and they're not going to be able to move at maximum speed. So that may not be something we want to try to force on the railroad. In Europe, the grace period's lower. It's 5 minutes instead of 6 minutes. I mean that's a start. I mean we always get the industry standard is 5:59, but it's not 5:59 globally. There are other places where it's 4:59. When we did the Minutes Matter report, we suggested that the railroad provide a 2-minute, 1:59 grace period and a on-time performance number for that. What that would probably do is make on-time performance about 30%. But it's but at the time
That's based on your armchair analysis from April.
Well, it's actually that's based on an actual analysis that somebody else did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
they figured it was going to take about it would take you down to about 30%.
But it would be more realistic as to the.
But it would be a bit more real. Yeah, I mean the point we made, sort of the point we made with Minutes Matter is you can't really tell 2 minutes. 2 minutes is something that you're not. It doesn't really register in your brain if you're 2 minutes late.
That's what you're doing.
6 minutes late, yeah, it does.
Yes, but then everything is a terminal time.
Yep.
I'm 8 minutes late getting into Deer Park, but the train gets into Ronkonkoma in 5 minutes. To me, it's late.
No.
All right, so this is what I would like to do.
There's other on this nice sheet. He mentions on the flip side, there's a lot of analysis that would include those types of issues.
So,
yeah, I mean we could. You can look at different, and people can look at this. I emailed it out.
well, this is the first step.
Yeah.
This is something that we talked about and that were some ideas, but what everyone else really should look at and come up with ideas. I really want to put out a report on this. I want this to go out. So, but we need everyone's help. Read through it, give you ideas and suggestions, thoughts, and really get back to us within a week to build with some ideas. I'd like to start working on putting something out because it's an issue that's very important to riders, obviously.
And we could reference the Minutes Matter report
Absolutely.
from say that.
Absolutely.
Boston publishes 2 on-time performances.
Yeah.
They say on-time performance that they're responsible for,
Right.
and what the on-time performance was on things that they had no responsibility for.
Right.
So they could say, we were 95% on time, but because somebody decided to commit suicide, that's not our fault. we were 98%.
Yeah.
We would have been if.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some.
Because what we can control, the railroad wants to show you what we control and what we can't control.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the MTA does something similar to that in the subways. They'll talk about controllable and, the controllable and non-controllable.
I mean, it's something else on the subways, just so people know, if you look at it, if you look at what they've been doing on transit for several years, is they have a, the closer the headway is of the trains, the tighter the standard is. In other words, during rush hour, the train's delayed by, I don't know, a minute on most lines of the subway, it's late.
Right. Yeah, it's 25%.
Yeah,
It's 25%.
25, and they show,
Yeah,
how bad,
25%,
the severity of lateness is also another thing reported, which is something, a train's late 3 minutes is one thing, a train's late 10 minutes is another. It's not just late, even if we went to a tighter standard, or a train's late 5 minutes, 15, there's a difference.
Yeah.
And
some of
maybe the on-time performance captures that in some way, anyway, but it's hard to say.
And some of that stuff is reported, it's just not very prominent. They do tell you the number of delays that are over a
Yes,
certain
that's it,
amount.
yes,
certain amount.
over 15 minutes.
Over 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Over certain 15 minutes, and I think they even say over 30. I believe it's in there.
Yeah, that's a horrible
There's a
one.
couple of different gradations of it. But yeah, I mean, but you could do different metrics too. You could do delay per passenger and all that. It's in the summary. Just take a look at it. So and get back to me with comments on it, so we can sort of decide what direction we're headed as far as our recommendations.
As far as that concerned, one of my biggest things, obviously, because I live out there,
Right.
is connections.
Connections.
You know, because you can have a train
Well-
that's 15 minutes late,
Yeah,
but you lose the connection,
yeah.
and you can wait an hour.
No, I mean,
From Babylon to Patchogue, because they run hourly from Babylon to Patchogue, so if
Right.
they're 15 minutes late, they're not gonna hold the
Right.
connection. They'll hold it 5, 8 minutes.
Right.
So,
They won't hold it.
but the point is that
Yeah.
both those trains are considered on time, you're not on time.
You know, that's the.
Both of them,
Yeah.
Right.
both of them. on
I
both
have a
And
ends.
you
question
can do
about
that.
that.
You can
Okay,
do that.
the train you're connecting with at Babylon is
Yeah.
pretty much an empty train until the people
Yeah,
from
most of the
Babylon
time,
get
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So they will let that train go, that almost empty train from Babylon, to accommodate.
If you're more than maybe 10 minutes late, yeah, because
Right.
sometimes that train has to get to Patchogue and turn around,
Right.
you know,
You're
so.
single
that-
track.
Yeah.
So in a way, they're running a
it's-
deadhead.
Yeah,
Pretty
Essentially.
much, yeah,
I
they'll
mean,
have like 3 or 4 people on the people
Right.
that get on in Babylon will ride it, but,
yeah.
You gotta be careful
Yeah,
with
but
the single track territory too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't just-
no.
But they gotta make it back, they gotta make it back for the next loop,
They
so.
often hold the trains at Hicksville's for late connections,
Yeah.
that I know.
But
I've sat
Hicksville
in
has-
those trains for a long time.
yeah, we'll give you what they
But
feel
not
is a
Jamaica.
reasonable period, you know, like 8 minutes, something like that.
and probably more driven by,
Yeah.
they have to return the equipment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
Anything
Hicksville
else?
has more space too, they could set a train on a track and bring the train in on different tracks. I mean, the other trains in on different tracks. It's just a,
All right, so.
but anyway, yeah, take a look at
This guy's-
the 2-pager and please give me
We
comments
gotta
on
move
that.
forward on this, that's
They,
great.
they should do what Amtrak does. When Amtrak is late, they give you back some money.
That's not gonna happen.
$50,
Yeah, that's not-
$60, I mean,
yeah.
you got some
We
money
just,
back
we just
from
pay it
railroad.
back in the next fare increase, so it's
Yeah,
not
that's a
gonna-
problem, yeah, you gotta,
Which
Yeah,
which
fund the-
leads us right to the next
So-
issue, fair hearings. I guess the word is they're looking probably at the numbers they were talking about at this point, right? Nothing different than the board has anticipated?
Yeah. No, well, actually, I think they're looking at a lot of stuff, because the city has been out there about subsidizing fares on the commuter railroads in the city. I mean, the city, not publicly, but that's been certainly a discussion. So they're open to discussions about different suggestions for changes to the fare structure. More so than they have been in the past. Whether that actually happens is another story.
So we really need to be,
If there's something
Yeah.
we wish for, I think we should push for it.
yeah. It sounds like there's much more openness to looking at all kinds of things. I think, Bill Wheeler's his group is gonna look at, if we get stuff to them early enough, they'll look at the impact of some of this, some of the things that are proposed.
Give it a bill,
and say,
Frederica's supposed to be in
Yeah.
charge of this if you want.
So
Yeah,
let's set up a conference call with our council. And start brainstorming.
On this issue alone.
Yeah, just on start brainstorming.
Well, people can email, certainly.
But, yeah, they can, but they don't, so let's set up a time. I mean, I'd love it, but we don't get it.
Okay.
And this is
Yeah,
too
right.
important for us not to,
Yeah, we should weigh in on something.
Yeah.
What's the numbers they're talking about? It's
Who
for-
cares?
No, for their fare increase.
Oh.
Yeah.
They always say yield, so I ignore it.
Yeah, but they haven't, the thing is, the fare increases haven't had any discernible impact on ridership in the last couple of times, so yield is the increase almost. I mean, even though they won't admit it, but, you know.
The last time.
Yeah.
What is the proposed one?
It's 4%. 4%. It's the same as, yeah, I mean, they're no longer bound by the agreement, the 2009 agreement that they have, that they're gonna do, you know, what do they do, 10% the first time?
Right, the Jay Walder
Yeah.
agreement, let's call it that.
But
Since he's
but
on.
Tom has been indicating that they were staying on the same pattern, or looking to stay on the same pattern.
Yeah, because that original agreement was up to 7.5 or something every 2 years.
Hi, Larry. Just a question. Is there really a need for a fare increase based on the ridership increase?
Great question.
That's a good that's a real good question, and that a lot.
In the financial plan, they assume a 4% fare increase.
Yeah, a lot depends.
Right, but in the financial plan, they didn't assume the ridership increase.
Yes, they did.
As I remember.
No, yes, they did. If you look at the budget, I don't think the ridership increasing this much is much more than, at least revenue-wise certainly, is not much more than what they, if at all. In fact, on transit, when transit and bus, which is, you know, the big money, they're a little bit behind this year on when you compare budgeted revenue and what they're coming in with. The tax revenue, the dedicated subsidies was a little bit higher. I mean, everything sounds so wonderful when they put it in the papers, but the balance sheets are good, but they're not off the charts.
Yeah, the other thing.
And
too,
maybe that was because of the rough winter. Let's see the next couple of months, and then
Yeah.
you'd be able to make a comment on it.
Well, the other thing too is it depends on how much the MTA is going to be called upon to pay debt service, and because even though the fare increase is only it's for 2017, it's the base for future fare increases. So it's, you know, if the MTA is going to be called to issue some bonds that they're going to have to pay off over the next 30 years, they're going to have to get more. There's going to have to be more revenue to do that, and you know.
Well, the claim right now is the MTA won't be asked to pay for any more bonds, that if it issues bonds on behalf of the state, it will be on behalf of the state. However, we know in the past, if the MTA has more revenue, often people say, oh, that's good, and you can pay off more bond, you could issue more
Right.
bonds then.
Right, but because of the structure of the pledge and the state being the last dollar in, and if there's
Yes.
money sitting in unallocated money sitting out there, who knows?
Yeah, it's something to watch out for.
Yeah.
But the point is,
Yeah.
to Larry's point,
Yeah.
there's no reason we can't say in our prepared
Yeah, no,
comments that ridership has increased, and we want that to continue, and another fare increase will
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
allow
that we
ridership
want-
to
Damper
grow,
on that, yeah.
the ridership to grow.
The riders
Well,
want
I
a
think-
ridership increased dividend out of this.
No, I'm saying that,
Whatever,
that we can't expect ridership to continue growing if we now
yeah.
do a fare
Right,
increase, so
right,
that, you know,
yeah.
there's ways of.
No,
bringing out the
there's
point.
yeah, you can do it,
That's the point.
you can go from one end to the, one point to the other, or back, or
Yeah,
the other way.
without calling for
Yeah,
none, we
either
can
way.
still indicate that it is a concern to,
But
it.
it's a
You're gonna stop the ridership increases by increasing fare, I mean, we could definitely.
Yeah, no, that's,
Bring that point
yeah,
down.
sure.
Now, also, we wanna, definitely, we're thinking of doing we've narrowed down to 2 facility sites, because people who are really not responding. We'd like to do another East Side Access one, depending on the time, because some people in the group were not around, we did the last one. And it was the communication center, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
And what Hector indicated to me is that he thought we could get in fairly late. We may not be able to spend a whole lot, if we're in at peak hour, we may not be able to spend a whole lot of time in the room. And we may have to go into the room, take a, look around real quick, and then we'll go off to a conference room and somebody will talk to us about what's going on there.
Yeah, that's fine.
but are those
yeah.
2 what you think are the top 2, or
No,
do we wrong, should we do something else? I'm open.
No, I think those are probably the
The
top.
problem with East Side Access is during the day, so it's
Yeah.
difficult for people.
Yeah, that's almost, that I have not pinned down our person I know who it is, but she hasn't called me back. at Capital Construction, but from experience, they usually want you in the morning. Because they want you to be in the morning and out by the lunch
And
break,
you have
which
to
is
be able,
usually
you have to be able to, you
usually around 11
have to
o'clock.
be able to climb those
It's
stairs.
on each side.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's only Monday through Friday.
yeah, yeah, it's Monday
We've
through.
done it before, but we have some new members that
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
So, and it's different now too, I mean.
Oh,
they've done-
yeah.
They've done a lot of work,
It was like caves when we
they've
were.
done a lot of work on, you know, they're doing a lot of work down below
And we
Grand
still have the
Central right
offer
now.
from the freight company, you know, to come see theirs.
At Fresh Pond?
Yeah.
If people wanna
Yeah,
go,
they're
it's still
Atlantic.
open.
I did that 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
I know.
An excellent.
Some of the,
Oh, is it?
They took us up and down the Bay Ridge Range.
some of the rail
Oh.
fans.
In a caboose with seats.
Nice.
Food was served.
Yeah,
Wow, that's,
yeah, that's something, yeah. I mean, there's only one other place around that has cabooses, and that's Staten Island.
Now, what we have left is, I be honest with you, I have been very upset about a situation with one of the station improvements. And that's why I have one Hector to come discuss 3 of them. This is the Lindenhurst elevator situation, they put new escalators in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's now over a year that
Wow.
they're still not done. I got a lot of inquiries about it. I had made inquiries and I was told that the work was done and they were just testing it. That turned out not to be true. So I got, to be honest with you, rather embarrassed publicly
Yeah.
for passing that along. Apparently it's not done and it has not been tested and I found some problems. So when he comes back in the room, I would like, we can wait 5 minutes, like just to finish. I'd like to get that. I want to get, they apparently opened up, so another one today, right, over at,
They did the groundbreaking for Wantagh.
Wanto. I'd like to know
Yeah.
what that project is and how long they intend not to take.
Yeah.
Because for the escalators to be out for over a year for a place, and no communication to people at the station about when they expect it back on.
Yeah.
That's what always bothers me the most, when they can't keep people in contact.
Yeah.
And we really should find out what's happened with Hicksville.
Yeah.
Because I'm there, I was there yesterday and I've seen nothing going on at all
Right.
whatsoever. And we've been talking about that project for how long now?
Yeah.
From now?
Yeah, and it should,
Multi-million
I mean, if
dollar
any project should move, that should be the one, because that's one that has
And
the
we want
governor.
to, and we want to get an update as to the Cold Spring Harbor since it did reopen last week.
Yeah.
It did reopen? It did.
No, it did, it reopened it, and, you know, I think Hector has some information that he can share on that.
Yep. Yes.
Clark, I overheard you talking about the Hicksville. Maybe a question to ask, if the construction obviously hasn't started, where are they with the design? Because obviously that design would have to be 100% and out to bid before any kind of construction could happen.
Of course.
So maybe there's been some kind of delay or hold up with the 100% design for the submission for bidding.
Is that, I'm not sure, is that, whether that may be a design build. Hicksville. I don't know.
it's
I'll
a
have to
build
check.
stage, isn't it? I mean, they're doing the work now, aren't they? Have they started?
No,
That's
of
the
course,
first I haven't
he
seen
hasn't
it, that's
seen
what I
anything
asked.
yet.
Oh, then they have it.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
Yes.
I'm thinking though, because that's one of the new, sort
Yes,
of,
I
new
think-
generation, that may be a design build. So you wouldn't have to have 100% design before they get started.
Yes.
They could go ahead and start work, and do the design as they progress the construction.
Can we,
Yeah, we can find,
can we end it, I talk about what I need to talk about? Can we end the meeting and discuss what I need to talk about? Well, we could ask Hector to do it next time, I'd like to
yeah.
end the meeting. 'Cause I need
Yeah, if you
quick
wanna,
executive session.
if you wanna adjourn, we
No,
can,
yeah.
if you wanna adjourn, we can adjourn.
Let's adjourn it, and then.
I don't think we have quorum anymore, so
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Okay, guys, stay on the phone.
Yeah, we don't have a quorum anymore, so,
Stay on the phone.
so we lost a quorum, so
Yeah,
if
that's
somebody
what
wanna
I-
move to
that's what I-
adjourn and.
It's what
I move we adjourn this meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
We're officially
Okay.
adjourned, but
Okay.
so stay on the phone, stay on the phone.
You can stay on the phone, we'll have
Okay, the phone.
it's the pizza, it's the secret pizza party now.
Yeah,
Like the mayor
it's
had.
unofficial.
I'll have one with the pepperoni, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, let me just hit the.
Yeah, we're having a.
Now, do you guys need me on the phone any longer?